Welcome to Via the Grapevine, proudly brought to you by Liquor City Claremont and offering you the chance to learn more about wine, the masters behind them, and even which wines to collect. Nestled in the heart of Stellenbosch, at the base of the picturesque Devon Valley and overlooking the Middelvlei Hills, Middelvlei Wine Farm is home to the Momberg family. Their story begins in 1919 when two brothers purchased the farm, and it's continued for over 100 years now to grow around a strong sense of tradition and family ideals. Today, brothers Ben and Tinnie Momberg apply the knowledge passed down to them through 3 generations of winemaking. Cellarmaster, winemaker, firefighter, electrician, groot baas, Tinnie Momberg joins me now. Welcome, Tinnie.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Guy.
Great to have you on Via the Grapevine. And let's start off. You must be relieved that level 2 lockdown has been affected and you can now get back to business, eh?
Yes, we are very, very relieved. It was quite depressing the past couple of months. Everything got to a standstill. The restaurant, the wine sales, the venues, everything. But we semi back to normal today. So thanks.
Excellent. You're known for your free-run pinotage. I wanted to ask, before we kind of get into the wines that you make, I wanted to ask your opinion on something that was making news this time last year. I think it was in August last year. There's been a lot of discourse around finding a cultivar that best represents Stellenbosch from a marketing perspective. And I know your sister-in-law is at the helm of Visit Stellenbosch. And I imagine one of the obvious marketing difficulties is that Stellenbosch has been blessed with many message options. It's a prime source of great Cabernet, fantastic Chardonnay, benchmark Shiraz, very good wooded Sauvignon, and the best of the country's Bordeaux blends. So with all of that choice, does it make sense to single out a single cultivar or style?
Well, I think the reason why they picked Cabernet is Cabernet is sort of seen as the king of cultivars worldwide. And if you can put that next to Stellenbosch, then you've already got a winner. And Stellenbosch has been writing world-class Cabernets for a very, very long time. I think better than any other region in this country can do. And I think this Cabernet, link it to Stellenbosch as a very good wine producing area, and also Stellenbosch wine tourism. I think it's a good idea.
So you're happy that they've kind of pinned their hopes on that one cultivar as a marketing tool? And I suppose,
well, I think if Cabernet leads, the rest will follow. Although Stellenbosch make great, all the other cultivars they can make very, very good. But I think if Cabernet take the lead, the rest will follow.
Yeah. It's an interesting conversation to have, and I'm sure there's a lot of people for and against, and there's conversations around why and why not. We've seen with the Breedekloof makers that they've pinned their hopes on Chenin, and it seems to be working for them, so why not? Let's focus on Middelvlei now. And for those people who are not familiar with the farm, won't you share with us how your unique location of the estate impacts on the types of grapes grown and indeed their quality?
Well, there's a million things that influence quality, but I think on Middelvlei, we're on the south slope of the Middelvlei Hills, and that slope faces towards the sea. And if you stand on Middelvlei and you look in the direction of Meerlust towards the sea, there's no hills there. It's flat, flat, flat. So we really get that cool sea breeze from the sea that everybody claims they get, but we really get it. And then our soil, we've got very deep Clovelly-Hutton soil. It's a yellow and red soils, and it's very, very good even for dryland vineyards. So we can get really concentrated fruit here. And I think the soil is so good you can grow anything here. You don't need green fingers to farm here.
And you've I think it's fair to say you've focused all of your attentions on award-winning red wines.
Yeah, that's what we try and do. My issue or focus was always red wines, but we've added a few whites in the meantime.
Bit of a nasty question then, maybe. If you were to choose only 3 of your wines to best communicate the philosophy or the ethos of Middelvlei Wine Estate in a bottle, what 3 of your wines would you choose?
Well, firstly, I think the Middelvlei Momberg, that's our top wine, our flagship wine. And that's only, the blend differ every year. And we try to take the best cultivars in the cellar, put it together in one wine. And then secondly, the free-run Pinotage. Middelvlei has always been known for Pinotage. For many years, we only had one wine on the market that was a Pinotage, and since 1973. And then the third one is obviously my favorite that I like to drink and make is Middelvlei Shiraz.
Excellent. I believe you have two as yet unreleased wines for, is it for the estate range? You've got
Yes.
a wooded Chenin Blanc, and then you're going to do a once-off oak-aged Pinotage. When can we look forward to seeing and tasting those?
Well, the wooded Chenin, oh, sorry, I've lost you there for a while. Wait.
Still here? Are you still there?
I tried to figure out what, I've pushed the wrong button.
No, you're all good. You're all good.
Okay, so should I just go on? Okay,
Yes.
now the Chenin Blanc is only for 2000 or for 2021. We're in the process of locating old Bush Vine Chenin Blanc. We haven't got our own Chenin Blanc, but we want to really start to see what's going on in that market and start to make that kind of wine. And then there's a Pinotage 2018 that will be released in about 3 months' time. That's called the Momberg Pinotage, and that's a once-off. It is to celebrate the 100 years that Middelvlei has been in our family. And there's only 2,700 bottles bottled of that, and all the bottles are also numbered.
Fantastic. So what I'm hearing from you is there is a little bit of a move on your behalf to diversify, bringing in the Chenin, whilst also celebrating the past and what you're good at.
That's true, yeah.
You've given me, very kindly given me the unoaked 2020 Chardonnay. Here it is here. We'll just hold it up to the camera.
It's got a new label. Yeah.
Very nice. And you say new label?
Yes, we've changed the label. The label was sort of a cream like our red wines, and we changed it. That's the first one of the new label.
Okay. First of all, thank you. I'm a massive fan of Chardonnay, to the extent that there was some wine critic on Twitter that commented when I said I love Chardonnay, said, well, I obviously need to go back and relearn wine. So I blocked him. But yeah, talk us through what we should be kind of expecting on this unoaked Chardonnay of yours.
Well, the idea with the wine is it must be a refreshing wine to drink. When it's cold, refreshing. It's a summer wine. It's not a wine to be aged for long. We don't put any wood in that wine. It's unwooded. It says on the label it's unwooded as well. And you've got nice citrus and peach flavors on the taste and on the nose as well. And the idea is it must be crisp and easy drinking. It's not a blockbuster, full-bodied wine.
Got you. It's got a beautiful nose. And just in terms of your diversification, is this part of that strategy that I mean, obviously you've got such a focus on quality red wines. What made you decide to go with Chardonnay? And are the grapes from the estate? Will we see an estate Chardonnay?
It is from the estate, but no, that one is not from the estate. That was bought in the grapes. But the idea behind the Chardonnay was I worked in California in 1992, and on a farm called Chateau Montelena, and I worked a lot with Chardonnay. And when I came back, I decided, well, I want to try and make it. And everybody told me, no, Middelvlei is a red wine farm. It's not a white wine farm. And we all decided, well, we need a white wine just to take the stains off everything that's the red wine stained on the farm. So I tried it. I even went to Georgia de la Chia at Mielis, and he gave me some advice. And the first year I only bottled 100 cases. And quality-wise, it was a big success, but financially it was not a success because the family drank about half of the wine. And so we started off with 100 cases, and this year we've bottled 5,000 cases, so it grew quite a lot. And we've got a Sauvignon Blanc as well, but the Chardonnay is by far my favorite.
This is superb. And I've had mine kind of at room temperature just so that I can nose it better. And I can just imagine chilled on a hot Stellenbosch summer's afternoon. Wow, absolutely perfect. Tinnie, I've heard via the grapevine, if you excuse the pun, that the 2020 vintage is incredible. Would you agree from what you've found with your grapes? Is it as good as 2015 was and then subsequently 2017 became?
Yeah, from the start, when the first grapes came in, you could see it. That's just the analysis and so on, and the ripeness of the grapes, that it can be a good year. And so far, the wines developed quite nicely. So I think it can be a good year, up there with the 2015 and 17. It's only the coronavirus that wasn't that good in 2020, but I think the rest will be good.
I think there's going to be some creative wine names coming out. It's like skip a year red, or because we just want to.
We already, with that 2,700 bottles Momberg Pinotage, we're bottling 400 bottles with a different label, and that one will be called Middelvlei Lockdown Pinotage.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of getting back to business, we talk a little bit about some of the offerings that you have at this stage. You're well known as a family estate. First of all, kids can come and play on the lawns there. You've got, you host weddings, I believe, but some of the other things that you've got the boerebraai and burgers and beets. Are those still available now? When can we come and mountain bike?
Well, from today on, it will be, we'll be full on open for all events, everything and whatever. And people must just watch the internet and whatever. We advertise quite a lot on our Facebook as well, and if you've got special things on. But at least it's back to normal now for the restaurant. That's nice.
Excellent. Yeah, good income stream as well, to be able to fire that up as well and give your employees a chance to get back to work. To wrap up, Tinnie, we like to do a little thing called quickfire, and it's literally just 5 quickfire questions. The first thing that comes to your mind, without too much thinking, blurt out the answer. We'll start off with your favorite grape variety to farm.
Pinotage.
Snoek or boerewors?
Snoek.
Snoek.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. For our international guests or viewers, they won't necessarily understand the word before this, but I think for South Africans, we know exactly what I'm talking about when I say moer coffee or rooibos tea.
Strangely, not one of the two, but if I have to go for one, I'll go for Irish coffee. I'm not a coffee or tea guy.
Really? Irish coffee for you then? Okay. Yeah. Holiday destinations, bush or beach?
Bush, definitely.
And then a question that formulated because I've noticed it on a lot of feet of winemakers. Would it be veldskoen for you or Crocs?
Veldskoen.
Yay, yay.
Crocs get a little bit slippery in the cellar.
Yes, although some winemakers rave about bloody Crocs. Yeah. So you need to visit the website. You need to keep your eyes on middelvlei.co.za. And of course, if you fancy your luck and you'd like a chance to win a case, it's a case of Chardonnay that you've given us, isn't it, Tinnie?
Yeah, a case or two. I cannot remember. I've dropped it off there somewhere.
So we've got a case up for grabs. All you have to do is answer the easy question here on the Facebook page, and you tag 2 people that you would share it with. You could win a case of the unoaked Chardonnay. And thank you very much, Tinnie. It's been wonderful chatting with you. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Guy. Thanks a lot.
This Via the Grapevine was brought to you by Liquor City Claremont. Visit their wine emporium for a journey via the grapevine.